Son of a bitch. Alright guys, this is going to be a real quick video, a TBR list for the Read-O-Rama Readathon, which takes place March 12th through the 18th. I was supposed to record this video yesterday after I got out of class, but traffic was really bad. It took me 2 hours to get home, and my university is only 9 miles away from my house, but on top of that, when I finally got here, I looked online and saw that this book that I've been waiting for to come out, there was only one copy left locally. Otherwise, it would have taken me forever in traffic to get to a different store. So I was like, fuck that noise, I want this book. I'll record the video later. Plus, I didn't feel like I looked rough. I still look rough, but I looked worse yesterday. This is my second time recording this video because my stupid audio recorder, I forget you have to push record twice. You push the first one, like the light comes on and numbers start moving, but it's not actually recording. You have to do it twice. It fucking sucks. So yeah, let's do this. Now, I found out about the Read-O-Rama Readathon through April Sarah's page, which I will link down below. The Readathon also has its own Twitter page, which I will link down below as well. I kind of stalk them a little bit, over hashtag them, because I want to find people who are also doing this who are doing this readathon, and we can hopefully keep in contact and encourage each other and just see, what everybody else is used for their choices. So, there are 8 goals for the Read-O-Rama Readathon. Read-O-Rama Readathon. Say that fucking 8 times fast. That's fun. There are 8 goals for the Read-O-Rama Readathon. The first one is to read 7 books. Now, I believe this is a goal because numbers 2 through 8, you are allowed to use the same book to meet 2 goals if you want. And if you don't read 7 books but you meet all the other goals, you can kind of pick and choose, that kind of a thing. So, the first goal is to read a book with Rama in the author's name and or the title of the book. Now, it does not have to just say Rama straight out in the title. You can pick and choose, letters from each and build it. The book that I chose was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. Now, if I spell it out here, you can see where I picked all the letters and that spelled out Rama. Now, this book I know is supposed to be a little bit controversial right now. I do like Veronica Roth's writing style. I just didn't like Allegiant. You know what you did. I'm going to say that every time I bring her up. You know. But yeah, so I kind of want to see, because some people said that, the racism aspect of it was reaching, and then some people, were like, oh no, it's racist as fuck. But I still kind of was excited about the book anyway because the summary looked like something I would like. So I'll read it and kind of see how I feel about it, but I'm a little nervous. But I figured I'd go ahead and read it and include it in this readathon since it was on my TBR anyway. The third goal for the readathon is to read a book with an animal on the cover. For this, I picked Alpha and Omega, which is the prequel to, I believe, the Alpha and Omega series. Just the universe that the Mercy Thompson series is set in, but it is kind of like this series is a prequel to that entire series. It's a backstory for the pack that raised her, not, Mercy's story. So I don't believe she's anywhere in these, but you find out about Bran and Charles and all the surrounding characters that are kind of mentioned vaguely in her series. You kind of get to know them separately without her and get to know their personalities in this series. So since I have not read the series, and this is a novella, since most of all of the others I picked are full-length books, I was kind of trying to give myself a little bit of a break. And all of these books, I did try to pick books that I already own and are already on my TBR, so I have 2 reasons to knock them out now. Goal 4 is to read a book where you and the main character share a first initial. So for this, I picked Into the Fire, which is book 4 in the Night Print series by Janine Frost. This series follows Vlad Tepes and his love interest. Now, Vlad Tepes is the original Dracula, who obviously is quite a bit fearsome. Nobody wants to ever kind of deal with him, and then he meets this awesome woman that he falls in love with. But sometime I believe in the 3rd book, or basically this arc follows all 4 books, so it's kind of in the middle of being resolved, and you find out what happens. Layla, who is Vlad Tepes' wife, I believe at this time, wife or girlfriend, is put under a spell and then tied to a powerful necromancer. So we find out, I believe, the conclusion to that in this book, how they're going to break the spell and how he's going to keep his hands off Vlad's woman, because Vlad's not playing that shit, okay? Like, this is a very, very good series. I really like it. If you like paranormal romance, urban fantasy kind of a thing that spins a little bit on the original Dracula tale, kind of like rewrites him, this is a good series. Goal number 5 is to read a book with an Irish element to it. The character could be Irish, the story could be set in Ireland, just any kind of a way that it has an Irish aspect to it. So for this book, I picked Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. Now, this story is a retelling of an old fable or fairy tale. I believe it's called Seven Swans, Seven Brothers, a Swan, something. I can't remember. When my brain's functioning again, I'll find it. I'll put it up here. But this story is about Saoirse and her 7 brothers. Saoirse and her family's very close, but her father marries this, hopefully unknowingly marries this evil enchantress who puts a spell on them all. The only way that Saoirse can break the spell and remove it from all 7 of her brothers is to stay silent while she completes these tasks that are set forward by the fair folk and their queen, the Lady of the Forest. Now, all seems to be going according to plan, but then Saoirse is kidnapped, and where she goes, she has to kind of decide if she's going to break the spell on her brothers or find her one true love and lose her brothers forever. This is the first of a series, and I want to say all of the books in the series are all fable and fairy tale retelling. Goal number 6 is to start a series. For this, I picked Eternal Eden by Nicole Williams. This is the first in the Eden trilogy. This book is about a girl, Bryn, who is a sophomore in college, I believe, who was putting along in life just fine until this, of course, bad boy comes and just derails just fucking everything. And she has to decide if, he's worth it and, find the strength in her to deal with him and all his shit and basically become her own heroine, or if she wants to, give him the boot, basically, or just let him drag her the fuck along and ruin her life, is what it sounds like. Really not sure for, to be honest, why this is on my TBR. I think it sounded really interesting, but we'll see. I may or may not pick another series. I went basically on my to-read list and good reads in the books that I own but haven't read yet, and picked a book that said, first in the trilogy or first in the series. But then just now when I opened and read the summary, I was like, why the fuck did I pick this? So I may change that. Goal 7 is to read a book about an illness. It could be a physical illness, a mental illness, just an illness. So for this, because I am apparently some kind of masochist, I picked Flowers for Algernon by Daniel Keyes. This book follows a man, Charlie, who is mentally disabled. He allows himself to undergo an experimental brain surgery in this quest to raise his IQ, but I don't believe it doesn't end well for him at all. It's a really sad book. Everybody that I know has ever read it has cried. I deliberately skipped it in school because I don't like reading books that make me cry. But I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to read this book, however, because it's supposed to be a really, really good book. And I'm trying to this year get out of, reading only light books, because I don't like books that make me feel the heavy shit, but that's supposed to be, the joy in reading. It's a really good book when it makes you feel other stuff too, not just happiness or, laughter or whatever. So I went ahead and said I would just suck it up and do it and just see how I feel afterwards. I may regret this deeply. Goal number 8 is to read a book blind. Do you know how hard it is to pick out a book and not fucking flip that thing over and read the synopsis? Oi. So clearly I couldn't pick a book that I already had in my Kindle library that I hadn't read yet, and hard to order a book online or anything like that, so I actually went to the bookstore. Well, not the bookstore, I went to Goodwill. And I'd picked up like 5 or 6 books that looked interesting before. I was like, fuck, don't read the cover, Jesus. So I picked The Night Gardener by Jonathan Auxier. It looks like it's either YA or maybe a middle grade book. I'm not sure, to be honest. And the reason I say that is because kind of like when I flip it a little bit, it has like these little illustrations around the chapters, so I'm really not sure what age range this book is for. But Tough titty. I picked it. I'm going with it because I'm not going through that again. It was really hard to pick this book out and not read the synopsis. So I actually might read this one first because it's kind of taunting me a lot. And that is it for my Read-O-Rama Readathon TBR. God, that's fun as fuck to say. Read-O-Rama Readathon TBR. That's awesome. But anyway, that is it for my Readathon TBR. Follow the page on Twitter. I do. Find me on Twitter at Offbeat Lauren or on Instagram at Offbeat Lauren, or you can follow my readathon progress on Goodreads / Offbeat Book Digest. I'll be trying to keep up with progress on all these social media accounts, mostly because I want to keep in contact with other people who are doing this readathon, see if any of us picked the same books, or just to see what you're reading. Camaraderie shit. Help us out, guys. I lost my login information for my personal Twitter account that I haven't used in like 4 years, so I started a new Twitter so I can keep in touch with you guys, and I've got like 6 followers. Find me on Twitter, guys. I also have a blog, Dorkingham Palace, but I broke it, so I have to redo the layout, so it's down right now. But that blog is basically all things dorky. It'll have cosplay on it, my DIY stuff, because this bookshelf, I'll be painting this. I'm reupholstering couches and chairs, that kind of stuff. The DIY stuff will be on that blog. My cosplay for Denver Comic Con and Halloween, those builds will be on the blog. My book stuff will be on the blog, and it'll have a little bit of personal stuff too, like why I picked up and moved like 3 states over completely by myself with my dogs. If any of that interests you, that should be up, gosh, I don't know when. I'll get to it. But I'm trying to keep up with this first and foremost. So yeah. That is it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.